Well, welcome to Shelly's Nest. We just wrapped up 10 days at Skooliepalooza. While we were there, we met a bunch of interesting people. One of the things that sort of came up is we kept hearing the same recurring questions over and over. And so we thought we'd get some of that recorded. And
Yep, we interviewed people from 5 different rigs. You may or may not hear 5 different answers, but it was a lot of fun, and I think they had fun with it too. We're going to show you a few of the different rigs that we saw this time. But as far as our personal experiences with boondocking for the 10 days and that sort of thing, that'll be next week.
I'm Shawn, this is my wife Christina.
We're at Old School Adventure Van.
This is our first time. We've been trying to get here for a couple years, and this is the first time we've made it here.
And it's great. We've really enjoyed it, very relaxing.
I'm Andrew.
I'm Susanna.
And we are Andrew and Susanna Van Life on YouTube, and my Instagram account is AndrewMOL11. This is actually our first time coming to Skooliepalooza. We had heard about Skooliepalooza on YouTube and probably on Facebook and Instagram before, and so we were really excited to come and check it out because we had seen what other people had experienced a little bit, and you don't get the full picture until you get here, of course. And yeah, now that we had our build built out enough to come, we decided to come.
I think it's been great. We've met a lot of people that we've just seen on social media, and then new people. There's always something going on. It's pretty fun.
Yeah.
This is my first time. Honestly, Jimmy and Natalie's videos from when they were at Skooliepalooza last year, I thought it would be an awesome experience, kind of get me outside of my comfort zone a little bit and come out here and experience it.
I'm Meghan.
I'm Tim.
And we're at clearance_the_bus on Instagram.
It's our first time, yeah.
Just to meet people, like-minded people who are also doing this and living on the roads, and just getting inspiration too. And
Yeah, just seeing all the other rigs is really fascinating.
We're Jimmy and Natalie. We're on YouTube and Instagram. This is our second year.
I guess 2 things. It's really fun to meet new people here. And 2, since we make videos as well, it's fun to come and capture that on video.
And try to share it with people who weren't necessarily able to make it this time.
Heavy sometimes.
Yeah, we've recently retired and we are out on the road, but we still connect with home and have a home base.
We are full-time. We do this year-round all the time, and we enjoy it.
We're full-time right now. We've been full-time since August, so we're fairly new to it still, trying to get in the rhythm of everything, but it's been fun so far.
Like here we had a destination in mind, so we just took off with that, but then we decided to visit family along the way, so we changed our plans. So our plans are pretty loose. We just go with a destination in mind, and if we get sidetracked, we get sidetracked, and that's the way we go.
And we have recently begun using Boondockers Welcome, and we use iOverlander, and so far we have not paid for an overnight.
I don't know if we really plan. We might have like one specific place we want to go to, and then we'll find cool places along the way. We use iOverlander for boondocking spots.
And we might have a broad overall sense of what direction we want to head in, but the day-to-day and just the little cool spots that we find, we'll go on iOverlander and just look on Google Maps and kind of figure out where we want to go and what we want to do. And
Right now, I'm working from home full-time, so I'm staying around Oklahoma and the surrounding states. So I'm just checking online and seeing what state parks I think I would be interested in and go check them out. I am using just Google searches.
We use a handful of apps, but I think the initial inspiration for where we're going to travel usually comes from talking to people, like friends and stuff, and places that they have been that they think are kind of cool, and then also climate. Some of the main apps we use are like iOverlander and The Dirt and Campendium, and now there's a new app coming out called Crossroads that's made specifically for nomads to meet up.
And also state parks. We've stayed at a lot of state parks. If it's a long travel day and we just want to stop somewhere like Cracker Barrels, we love you.
Big picture first, we like to find one really cool thing we want to go see, like in this case it would be Skooliepalooza, and that might be 3 months out, and then we'll just try to fill that time with stuff in between our destination and Skooliepalooza. And then we use iOverlander primarily to find the spots in between.
We do mostly free camping, and we stay at like free places overnight, like Walmart's, truck stops.
It's a family recipe, and it is just loose hamburger you brown, then you add potatoes sliced like potato chips, and get those pretty much cooked. Once they're cooked, you add a couple of cups of cheese, and right at the end before you're ready to serve it, you put a couple eggs in and get those cooked, but they take a minute or two. And serve that, it's pretty tasty.
I kind of whip up just whatever we have. I kind of just make a meal out of it. I'm not a big recipe guy. I just throw stuff together and it works. But we do a lot of salads.
And we do make a lot of charcuterie boards.
Right now, my favorite, and I've been hooked on it, is ramen. It's the easiest thing to make, and I love it.
Do you do anything to spice it up?
Nope, I just leave it. I like spicy food, but I have some that are pretty spicy, so I just leave the spices and seasoning that comes with it.
Meat and vegetables, I do a lot of that. We try to have as many like vegetables as we can, but that is hard when you have a smaller fridge. So a lot of salads.
I like bananas and peanut butter. Like a banana boat with some peanut butter slathered on it.
We make burrito bowls a lot with beans and corn and tomatoes, and Jimmy will put chicken in his, and I'll usually add tofu to mine, and then we serve it over rice and add whatever toppings.
I like short buses. I like the look of short buses, so we've done a couple vans. Having the stand-up room, a little more room was nice. This is still small enough, it fits in a regular parking spot.
I like it because it is small. It's basically like driving a Suburban that's a little taller.
She's very comfortable driving it, drives quite a bit, really.
So I began this lifestyle living out of my Prius, and that was rather tight. So I purchased a Ram ProMaster. After we got married, we moved into the ProMaster together. Our ProMaster's engine caught fire, and we lost that build. School buses were relatively cheap to acquire, and we felt like, maybe the extra space would be a good bonus.
We were thinking about going van at first, and we started
I wasn't really.
Yeah, we started out, we were thinking about RV, and then we were like, maybe we should do a van, and then we eventually just watching YouTube videos and seeing other people's builds and stuff, we thought bus would kind of be the best route for us. We liked the width, and we liked that they had all the windows for natural light.
Building a rig is not near as intimidating as everybody thinks it is. Everybody does YouTube for their builds. Anything and everything you want is there if you search for it. So on the build, I say just go for it. And the nomadic life, I don't know, we stepped into it slowly. We've been very happy on the road. Works very well for us.
I think having a layout plan before you actually start is useful. That way you get the things like the electrical and the water and the insulation or whatever you want to do done.
It's fun to look at other people's builds like on Instagram and YouTube, but don't try to make yours exactly like theirs. Just build it the way that fits your lifestyle and the things that are important to you, and not try to copy somebody else's bus or van build or whatever it is.
Instead of getting something and doing a full build out on it, go ahead and rent a van for a week and throw an air mattress in the back or something, just to kind of get a feel for it and see if this is even something you want to do.
I think just don't get caught up in feeling like you have to make everything absolutely perfect in order to be proud of it. Be proud of what you've accomplished, and obviously do a lot of research before you start making holes in your bus.
I'd say as far as like building out, I'd say failure is the best way to learn. So you can spend hours and hours just researching and watching YouTube videos, but like you got to actually start doing it, and then you'll learn. For people wanting to live the nomadic life, I feel like an imposter, like giving advice since we just started doing it. I would say at least give it a try. Like, what's the worst that can happen? You have to move back.
My favorite part is the L kitchen, and I can just hold myself here and have a nice spot in case we're driving and I'm getting water or working here at all.
I think it's so cool. You have a full-size oven.
Yes, and that was a definite must for me. So we hardly ever eat at restaurants, and it is a full oven. Shawn put in double windows, so he took some out, and then so we have the inside, and then we can pull up another. And when it's cold and when we're not moving down the road or we're trying to keep it cool, either one, we put Reflectix between the two. And then at night, we snap up blanket. This is a couch bed, and you can find that online. It keeps our bus open. So we use the back door when it's nice quite a bit. We have a screen we can put over here, but we're from Montana, and because of that, it's cold. We have a diesel heater, and that works pretty well till about 0. Then you need more. And so we have the wood stove. And like here, we haven't run the diesel heater, but we have the wood stove at night just to take the edge off right before we go to bed. And this is our main storage. Our battery bank's back there. We store stuff right here. And then our clothes, our toiletries, we put our folding chairs back in there, the dog stuff, just life stuff that you need. We call it Barnabas, and that means encourager.
Here's my favorite part, was the bathroom. So this countertop folds up, and it's got a latch in it. Then this door opens. You can pull these pins and telescope this up and make it a full-size door. So then our homemade compost toilet. This is our shower system. This snaps onto here. Flip this switch up and it turns on the shower head. And then if you push this switch down, it turns on the suction, sucks the water back up and back into a filter system and back into the tank. So we have recirculating shower.
We basically built our rig around and designed our solar and battery capacity around having our espresso machine. We're big coffee fanatics. We're both former baristas, so having our espresso machine in our build was a big deal for us. Here is our espresso machine. This espresso machine saves space because it has a grinder built in, but this is the Breville Barista Pro. And we can make really great quality espresso and make lattes with that, and it just brings people together. We've had so many people in our bus over the past few days just drinking coffee and enjoying conversation.
Since I'm still in the build, I don't have a ton, but right now I'm most happy with how my ceiling turned out and the lights that I have installed. That's probably one of my favorite things right now.
One of our favorite parts would be the little planter garden here, for like just growing fresh herbs. We're going pretty heavy in basil right now.
Right, we love basil.
This box actually, like this whole thing lifts up and it comes out.
Wow.
So then when you need to replant or something, it's easier than like leaning over and putting new plants in there. So
another one of my favorite parts is like our L-shaped seating area, because it's right by the fire, so it can be really cozy when we have that going. I love having this little area to set some little decorations and plants on. And another favorite spot is just this whole nook of our sleeping area, because it's kind of a separate area than the rest of it, but yet you can still see everything that's going on. It's just really cozy. Another one of our favorite things is our fridge freezer. Tim made it so that it can slide out, and like this side we have for our fridge, and this is the freezer side. So it's just nice to have that, and it locks into place, so we have this little hinge here so it can just slide in and you can hear it, and then when we're driving, then it's not just sliding out all the time.
I think I really like our decor in the van. We were in a bus before this and we didn't really think about how we were going to decorate it and make it feel like a home before we started the build. And in the van, I think we had that in mind, so we left in a lot more room for homey touches.
We hope you enjoyed hearing from people from the different rigs. It was a lot of fun to interview them. I think they had fun being interviewed. Next week, you will see our personal experiences about Skooliepalooza and how we survived boondocking for 10 days.
Well, until later.
Bye!